good afternoon to one and all. This is a very important lecture of the disaster preparedness and planning section because the assessment of risk is very important to mitigate the occurrence of impact of disasters. So in this lecture we will see we can say our goal is to teach you how to analyze hazards and their potential risk to cause future accidents and disasters, so that with this knowledge you will be able to prioritize corrective actions to prevent those future disasters and any type of accidents. Okay, risk assessment is very important for the mitigating the disastrous things. So basically, the process of detecting hazards and assessing associated risks comes under the risk assessment. So what we will do in the risk assessment, just the process of detecting hazard. We will just detect the hazards and we will assess some evaluation whatever associated to the it is associated to the risks. So already we have seen in the previous classes that hazard is nothing but a probability of occurrence of any potential damages scenario things. Okay, but risk is the chance of occurrence. So here we can also define, or we can also see about hazard and the risk in some different way, and we can say hazards and risk are not the same. Hazard is the probability but risk is the chance of occurrence. Okay, and already we have seen that hazard is nothing but a probability of occurrence of a potential phenomena which is having the damage capacity. Okay, so hazard we can define as a condition with the potential to cause personal injury or death, property damage or operational degradation. Means in since this is having it's having the potential damage condition, potential damage things. So definitely there will be injury or sometimes death also happens. So this is hazard, but risk is an expression of possible loss in terms of probability and severity, how much severe it is. Okay, this is the risk. So this can be understood by one example, driving on icy road, okay, is a hazardous condition. Okay, risk is lessened by driving slow while using snow tires or chains. Okay, suppose we are moving on icy roads, ठीक है ना, बर्फ का रोड है. So this is the hazardous condition. So risk can be lessened, उसको कम किया जा सकता है. How? By driving slow. Okay, less probability of slipping and less damage if you go in the ditch at a slower speed. Oh, so we can reduce the risk. And the other part is that risk is increased with speed or bald tires, higher probability of slipping and greater damage on impact. So and one more condition may happen with the risk is zero if you don't drive at all, even though the hazard still exists. However, if we don't drive at all, we won't get the job done either. So just we have seen that risk is in our hand. Means whatever the hazard condition, hazard consequences is they available, but we can increase the risk. We are responsible for increasing the risk, we are responsible for decreasing the risk, and we are also responsible for no risk associated with the particular hazards. So just we have seen that with one example. So we can say risk management allow us to still do the job but with the safest less risk method. Okay, this is not meaning we will not do anything, just we will sit in the home and watch the TV what is happening surrounding us in our surrounding. So there is a terminology called risk management. It will allow us to still do the we will perform the job, do the job, but our main aim is that with the safest condition, means less risk may happen, but with this methodology we will act in case of risk assessment. Okay. Okay, and now come to the how we will operate the risk management. So basically, operational risk management is a method of identifying and controlling risks. So somehow we are now able to identify and control the risk with the operational risk management. So as per our syllabus, we will see only the first two steps of risk management. First is the identification of hazard, and second is the assessing hazards. Okay. So the first come to the assessing hazards. Then we will go for the second part. So assessing hazard may be by probability or maybe its severity. So if we talk about assessing hazards by probability, so as we know that probability is the likelihood of an accident with a given hazard. Okay, so we can say how often will a certain hazard lead to an accident. This is the probability of occurrence. So this can happen on a frequent way, likely way, occasional way, seldom way, unlikely way. So we as per the name suggested, we can understand that frequent means the probability will occur very often. Such type of event which is which will happen very short duration of time. Likely means probably occur often, very some large duration of time it will happen. Occasional means sometimes, kabhi kabhi. So expected to occur occasionally. Seldom means rarely. On the rarely basis it will happen. Unlikely means it is unexpected to occur, but maybe, but might occurs. So this can happen in case of assessing hazards by the probability methods. Okay, now come to the assessing hazards by its severity. So basically, severity may be defined as or may describe the highest level of damage possible when an disaster or accident occurs from a particular hazard. Means we generally we say now the attack was very severe. Okay, it means the maximum damageability, the maximum level of damage possible with that consequences, then we will say the attack was severe attack in case of a particular hazard. Or it may be catastrophic, critical, moderate, or negligible. Catastrophic means definitely there will be loss of life and completely the things will be lost. Suppose there is a equipment available, the completely equipment will be lost. But in case of critical, the injury will be there, the injury will be available, but the loss will be not happen. Only damage of the equipment will be there. But in case of moderate severity, the incident to minor accident means crack will be there only. Okay, means there is no loss of the things. But in case of negligible, damage probably less than accident or incident level, means there is a very less amount of accident will happen in case of negligible. So this can be understand by the by one example. Suppose there is a ergonomic hazards, in case of this ergonomic hazard, the it may be the negligible, moderate, or critical levels of accident, but there will be no catastrophic catastrophic severity will be occur. Why? Because in case of catastrophic, the loss of life and loss of equipment will be available. So in case of ergonomic hazard, suppose there will be only three severity will be happening: critical, moderate, and negligible. Means the typing or lifting heavy materials, means it's depend on the what type of activity we are doing. But in case of aircraft, jacking aircraft may result in catastrophic aircraft damage or death. So it is in this way we can categorize what type of damage was available, on that basis we say the severity was catastrophic, critical, moderate or negligible. Okay. So now come to the risk. Risk is basically nothing but a combination of probability and severity. So risk is the combination of these two phenomena, probability and severity. So risk can range from low to extremely high level. Okay, risk can be defined can be divided into low risk or extremely high risk. So extremely high risk means a hazardous condition may cause frequent accidents which may result in catastrophic equipment losses, injury or death. Means the whatever the damage whatever damage will be available in case of disaster. So on that basis we can say if catastrophic severity is available, then the risk will be extremely high risk, and low risk means a hazardous condition is unlikely to cause accident, means sometime very rarely it will happen, and even if hazard happens, results in only negligible damage. Means negligible damage means there is a very less amount of disturbance in the system will be available. So in this way we can categorize on the basis of what type of severity has happened, we can divide the extremely high risk or low risk. Okay. So now come to the risk elimination. So basically the thing is that why bother to classify risks at all? Should not we just eliminate all hazards and their associated risk? This question may be asked. Why we are bothering this type of risk will happen, this type of severity risk will be happen, catastrophic, damage, moderate, critical. So just eliminate all types of hazards and their associated risk if it were possible. Yes, but sometimes we don't have the resources, means authority, personnel, equipment, support, financial matter to accomplish it. We can eliminate the total risk and hazards with our society, our system, but we cannot because of the leases in terms of resources, like authority will not support, personal will be, there is no trained man, there is no equipment availability, there is no support of the government organization or society for support from society or finance to accomplish this risk elimination. And also if we don't have infinite resources, we must then prioritize our actions by identifying and eliminating the higher risks before we devote too many resources to the lower risk. Suppose we don't have a resource available right now, but we can prioritize. We have already seen in the disaster preparation tools and disaster preparation tools. The first tool was that we will follow the international federation approach, was that we will prioritize the things, whatever resources we have, according to that, on the basis of that available resources, we will prioritize our actions just by identifying and eliminating the higher risk before we devote too many resources to the lower risk. We will not go for accumulating, there are so many resources कि अगर हमारे पास बहुत resource हो जाएगा, then we will go for action to accomplish the disastrous thing, mitigate the disastrous thing. No, whatever resources we have, with that we will try to eliminate the risks by prioritizing our actions for identifying and elimination. Okay. So question is, how can we systematically classify and prioritize risks? Okay, there is a question. Suppose we say we can eliminate the risk. We don't have resources, we have resources. If we have resources, then easily we can eliminate the risk from the disaster things, disastrous result. But if we less resources available, the question is, how can we systematically classify and prioritize risks. So for this type of classification and priority based risks, we use the risk assessment code, that is called RAC, risk assessment codes. And RAC provide a simple method to prioritize intervention strategies. Okay, so we will see how we can classify and prioritize the risks to eliminate the or mitigate the risk with the for the disasters. Okay.